Hello and welcome to another exciting travel video. I am standing on the banks of the Miami to Erie Canal in Minster, Ohio. This is Western Ohio. And this canal, built in the 1820s and 1830s, runs south and north from Cincinnati up to Defiance, where it connects into the Maumee River and then to Toledo and the Great Lakes and the rest of human civilization. So basically a 170-year-old interstate system running right through town here, and parallel to it, many years later, the highway built Ohio Route 66. So I'm going to be driving a portion of that today, and hope you'll come along and join me. All right, here we are on Ohio State Route 66, heading into the town of Newport, Ohio. Pretty two-story house there, nice old one. And here's the welcome sign. Very cool log cabin. We cross the river here. Continue into town. Let's see what's in Newport. The Keyhole Pizza. Beer, wine, and liquor. What else could you possibly want? A nice Catholic church up here. Cemetery. And I think we're coming into the beating heart of Newport, Ohio here. Another cemetery. Well, this may have been the former beating heart. Or that might be all there was. Now up here is Hickory Hill Lakes, which has country music concerts, it says. Welcome, friends. Well, welcome to you. And I think we're out of Newport. We're going to continue up 66 and see a couple more towns. Passing Cardo Road here on 66. This doesn't get the same level of attention, I guess, as the U.S. Route 66 that goes from Chicago down through Missouri and Oklahoma City. You know the song. But, you know, this is Ohio State Route 66, so still Route 66, just our local version. And while it may not have the background scenery of the one that runs down through the painted desert and all that, it does have the advantage of being much closer, at least closer to me, because I live in Ohio. We're coming up to our next town here with the requisite 10-mile-an-hour speed limit drop, and this is Fort Loramie. Fort Loramie, hometown of Jared Hoying, it says. Also, Fort Loramie on the other side, in case you weren't paying attention. And the Fort Loramie Cemetery. Over there on the left. Lots of state championship here. Baseball, volleyball, basketball. Got a factory and a Dollar General, which is pretty much par for the course for any Western Ohio town. This one is much bigger of a town than Newport, so we're gonna look around here for a minute. Now this says Taco Bell drive-through open, but I'm gonna go on out on a limb here and say that this is not a Taco Bell, and that the drive-thru is not open. It does seem to be a place where you can put junk, or where someone has put junk. And as you can read in the sign, no removal of items from this area. So once the junk is here, the junk stays here. Oh, no, here, look, here's a sign too. Don't place items in this area. No TVs or electronics. No steel, wood core entry doors. So they don't want you to put anything there And there's no TVs or electronics, so nothing to steal, I guess. But if you have some junk, you want to drop it off, it's a good place to do it if you're here in Fort Loramie. Now, I was sad to see that the Taco Bell drive-thru was just a cruel hoax. But what's not a cruel hoax is Fort Loramie Trading Post. Boots. Men, women's, children's, toddler through size 16. And they have a Sasquatch right out front. I found him. Wonder if Adam the Woo knows about him. There he is. And there he goes. Nice seeing you, sir. Fort Loramie Trading Post. Provider of shoes. Also a great place to buy concrete statuary, which could come in handy if you have a place to decorate. Looks like that deer has been painted, but the rest of them you can paint yourself. So let's see what else there is here in town. Driving up the main street. Again, this is Ohio State Route 66. Keeping to a healthy 35 miles an hour so as not to attract the attention of local law enforcement and have to make a non-voluntary donation to the city's coffers. It's a pretty town. I definitely say that. I love these little western Ohio towns. Flags up and lots of trees. People out walking their dogs and stuff. Some really old houses, tin roof. And we come into the main part of town here. I see a bank up ahead. And junction, Highway 705. Don't want that, want to stay on 66. Here's our main drag. Let's see what there is. Got a gazebo and the Loramie Banking Company, the Loramie Brewing Company, a hamburger place, looks like American Legion Post, and a Dairy King and motel, so you could stay there. A beautiful old Federalist house, and Lake Loramie State Park just a mile down the road. So lots of outdoor recreation, fishing, boating, and a motel to stay in if you don't feel like camping at the lake. And now you see why people come to Fort Loramie. I don't know how many people come to Fort Loramie, but I assume some do, and I bet they have a great time. I haven't been fishing in years. I used to go a lot. Used to go back when I lived in Connecticut with a good friend of mine. Would go on the Connecticut River and go catfishing, and that was a great time. I miss those days. That was a lot of fun. Well, here we are back in corn country. You can see the golden color of the corn, and up here on the left, the golden color of the beans means that they are just about ready to be harvested. In fact, I think this guy is harvesting right now. And it looks like this field up ahead has been harvested pretty thoroughly, so definitely right in the middle of harvest season. And you can see the next town coming up here right ahead, I believe, is Minster. I'm going on memory here, so we'll see. Don't know what factory that is either. Let's find out when we get up closer. Arrowhead Golf Club. And here, welcome to Minster. Since 1832. And this also takes us out of Shelby County and into Auglaize County. Yeah, and see the beans come to an end right here, and the town begins. Also the 35-mile-an-hour speed zone, and a very long list of state championships. This is Progress Tool and Stamping, and this is Dannon, North America. So, and this is an old farm. Maybe they have cows that make the yogurt that goes into the Dannon in the factory across the street. It's nice when the whole town can work together like that. And here we are in beautiful Minster, Ohio. And I don't mean that lightly. It looks like a very lovely town. Lots of Ohio towns. I don't know if you're noticing on the left there, all those poles have little banners with pictures. A lot of these towns put up hometown heroes, and these are the men and women who served in the U.S. Armed Forces. It'll usually have a picture of them and their name and what branch they served in. Sometimes it'll say Korean War or Vietnam. Sometimes it'll have their rank or rate if they're in the Navy. Sometimes it just says Navy or gives some years. They vary, but a lot of these towns do it, and it's a really nice way to, to honor these hometown heroes and see that the town has done a lot to support the country through the years. See a lot of the same names when you're in these towns. You know, the last four guys I just passed were all named Nagel. So all the Nagel boys. But this is Minster, Ohio. Here's a close-up of what I'm talking about with the signs, and also wish we had a little more of a breeze. But you can see the Minster flag here. Oh, here we go. Opening it up for us. Yellow, white, and red with their coat of arms and 1832 in the center. Nice flag. And a few of the local heroes. Thank you for your service. That is a beautiful shed, garage, barn, stable, whatever you call it. And now there's a lot of German heritage in this area. You may have noticed some of those flags in downtown, such as it is New Minster, were German, and lots of the names. And now we're here in New Bremen. Definitely a throwback to the old country. New Bremen, Ohio. There's the water tower. And of course their state champions sign. Looks like their team might be the Cardinals. And here we are leaving the city limits. But don't you fret, because just about a block up here, we re-enter the city limits again. I don't know why. One of those vagaries of local zoning. And here is your welcome to New Bremen sign again. I feel very thoroughly welcomed. That's no fewer than 3 welcome signs for this town. And just another little charming main street here in Auglaize County in western Ohio. And that's a beautiful house there. Big, big, big. I don't know if I'd want to live right on Route 66, despite how fun that address might be, just because there are a lot of trucks and things that go by. But you know, you go half a block off and it gets nice and quiet, nice fast. Here's the Miami and Erie Canal Heritage Center, and a very old white brick building. Now right behind me is a really neat log cabin right here in the heart of New Bremen. It had a interpretive sign on it that explained that there are a lot of German immigrants along this road because they came up north from Cincinnati, which is famous for its German heritage and brewing and lots of great German restaurants and all that. So they came up here in the 1830s to work on the canal, which we saw the Historical Society sign earlier, and that's what drove this area. This is one of the early 1830s log cabins built by one of the German immigrants and restored back in the 1980s. There's a whole canal park here, so we're going to look around. Definitely a neat old log cabin, that's for sure. And as we pan around here, not quite as old, but still quite old brick building. Pretty big for a town like this. Now I've come across an old footbridge over the canal, which leads to the Kaminsk Legacy Park. Neat old canal building over there. For those of you who like the history, you can pause on this and read about the Miami to Erie Canal. And here is one of the locks on the canal. Neat piece of history there. And another neat piece of history which we can interact with is this bridge, which says it was constructed in 1864 and is the oldest cast iron bowstring girder bridge in the state of Ohio. Let's see how it holds up. Not too shabby for a 160-year-old bridge. Nice view of the canal as we go across. And here on the other side, well, I don't know what we have here. It appears to be a lovely family of lions resting. The mommy and the daddy and the two cubs. Very cute. And then there's a whole playground area down here. Looks fairly recently built. Very nice. School is in session and it's a Tuesday today. That's the only reason that you don't see a whole host of kids out here on a 70-degree day, sunny. But I guarantee when school is out, this place will be packed. Look at that. Who wouldn't want to go on here? Here's a concrete slide, which, it warns you, is fast. Well, only one way to find out, right? And away we go. That was pretty fast, gotta say. Some nice tile work done here. And what I'm pretty sure in the summer is a dancing fountain, something for the kids to run through. It's a nice park though. And a very fast slide, they're not lying about that. We'll take the more traditional method up. Say goodbye to the pride of lions and head down this way. Coming up to the old building here, this is the lock keeper's house. And a bronze statue entitled Partners from 2016, showing a young boy of the 1820s to 1850s pulling a mule. The local boys were called hoggies. They'd lead their mules for several miles along the towpath, pulling the canal boats down the canal. So an integral part of the early American infrastructure were these little boys and their mules. Nice to pay some tribute to them. I imagine that was not an easy job. They have this placard on the edge of the post for the canal lock. This 7,000-pound gate is not movable. So just saying it's not movable alone might not be enough to deter you, but the 3.5-ton weight, that might do it. A little bit more history for those of you like me who are sign readers. And one last one. And over here we have the old New Bremen fire station, with the fire bell still visible in the cupola up top. Zoom in for you. There it is. And across the street, and just on the other side of the canal from the Hoggy boy and his mule, is a statue to another essential member of the local community. Another essential job. Thanks to all the firefighters who saved the community that the mule boys built. Some nice old brick architecture, mid-1800s brick architecture in town here. And here in front of the Auglaize County Library is a bronze statue showing what the descendants of those mule kids would be doing today, which is getting to enjoy their childhood, reading, picking flowers, ice cream, all the things you think about doing when you're a kid. Not sure what that was, but it was very loud and did not appear to be adhering to the posted 35-mile-an-hour speed limit. Another pretty building. You can see on top the cat in the hot tin roof. Very cool. Or very hot, as the case may be. Another interesting statue along the canal bank here. And as we turn here at Schweiderman's Drugs, a nice tour through the rest of downtown on Monroe Street, a theater, and some beautiful, beautiful old 1800s architecture. Love those bay windows on the second floor. And all the grace notes on the old buildings. One thing I notice is, for being a small village, it looks like they've put a lot of effort into fixing up and restoring the old buildings so that they'll last well into the next century. And that's definitely not inexpensive to do. But if you want your town to survive and grow, that is what you absolutely have to do. And they seem to be on top of things, whether it's that beautiful park or the fixed up downtown. And it looks from the speed limit like we are now exiting the village of New Bremen and continuing our way north. The journey continues. It doesn't take long out of town before you're back to the world of corn, even though it appears some suburbs are creeping in along the way. Still definitely a lot of corn. Corn, corn, corn. Corn as far as the eye can see. Corn, corn, corn. And now beans. Field of beans. And as the Miami to Erie Canal winds off into the distance, so too must I wind off into the distance. Well, at any rate, it's the end of this video, and I hope that you join me as my journeys continue through this wonderful part of the country. Thanks so much for joining me, and I will see you guys next time.